You have four options. Play full game. Entering team select screen. The Chicago Bears, the home team, are selected. Ready.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And up next are the Texans' veteran running back. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Texans and the Bears, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Entering play call screen. Kickoff right. Kickoff left.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
There are 6 categories.
Mills looking to the air right away. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. The big story all week, Texans coach Robbie Smith making his return to Chicago. Robbie, of course, the coach of the Bears from 2004 to 2012, and he was at the helm when the Bears won that NFC title in 2006. Wound up 81-63 during his tenure here in the Windy City. Then he would have that pit stop down in Tampa and then come back to the state of Illinois as the head coach of the Fighting Illini in the Big Ten before returning to the National Football League. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. To throw, Mills. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Mills to the air again. And he can't find a receiver. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Mills. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, Charles, now we take a look here at their 2022 draft class. No first-round pick for them this year, but it seems like they're able to overlook that, at least in talking to them, with a type of upside that they found on days 2 and 3.
Hey, you're right about that. No first-round pick, maybe. But there was a point where their top selection did have his name thrown out there as a possible first-rounder. So now, as you described, they're hoping they can develop those traits and get a couple of difference makers out of the middle rounds.
Now throwing on 3rd down. He cannot catch it. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
And I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to, when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
Here come the Bears, and at the helm is someone that they have a lot of hopes for leading this franchise. The 11th pick in 2021 out of Ohio State, Justin Fields.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
There are 8 cat formation. There are play type. There are option, run, pass. Option is set to standard pass. Option is set to shotgun pass. Option is set to play action pass. Play pass. Boot slide. Wide drag reel.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Triangle button.
Here's Griffin on the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Entering plate. Sprint HB. Potassium. Plate. Run. Option is set to outside handoffs. Option is set to pitch free plays. Option is set to counter for play. Option is set to draw to place. Draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2 options. HB draw is selected.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Cross cutting.
First carry now for David Montgomery. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Bears at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Circle button.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Triangle button.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They're right. Play type. They're right. Cat. Formation. Go line. Gun. We. Strong. I form. Single back. Wing. 24. Sprint AHP inside zone.
Running for it, Montgomery. They find some open field here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Again, they'll go around with Montgomery. Jerry Hughes on the stop. Not a whole lot there. The defense was running it left for that run pass action.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
There are right categories. Formation. Play type. There are personnel. There are right. Personnel. There are right cat. Formation. I form. Single back. Wing pair. Sprint HP. AHP inside zone. Sprint HP flat.
Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run.
Cross button.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. This one swung out to Montgomery.
This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Auction is set to standard pass 20. Auction is set to quick pass 11 plays. Quick pass Y stick.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Square button.
Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. Touchdown!
Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Bears have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. If off left is selected.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Mills' throw taken in there by Cooks. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers for Cooks in that game last week. 8 catches, 77 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now the first carry from Marlon Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing, Mills. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. This defense for the Bears, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, here's Mills. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
There was certainly a scouting report special because Tucker was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is
is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will tie things up at 6-6.
Well, good start for him in this one here in the first quarter, and he's now 2 for 2 on field goals.
And I know while the offensive coaches are telling their guys, hey, let's leave the kicker out of it unless it's an extra point, this could pay dividends if this game is tight down the stretch. His confidence is going to be sky high if they need him for a big-time kick.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner.
Entering play clock. Stick.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Circle button.
Fields now to throw.
Caught here by Griffin. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw a short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery.
And he'll get about 3 here, up to the 44-yard line.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Option is set to draw 2 plays. Draw. There are 7 cat. HB mid-draw. HB draw.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
Triangle button.
Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery.
And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
And that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Entering play call. Go. Gun plan. There are 8. Player. There are 8. Formation. There are. Play type. There are 8. Option. Run. Pass. Special. Pass. Run. Draw. There are 7 categories. HB mid-draw. Triangle button.
Montgomery, they'll run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Mills on first down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
picked off by Tavon Young. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Entering play call, coach suggests the spot. Red option. On plan, there are player, there are formation, there are play type, option, run, pass. Option is set to standard pass. Option is set to shotgun pass, shotgun pass, mesh spot, slants, sail, 4 verticals, stick.
On first down, it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Slants,
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Triangle button. Square button.
Fields throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Jet angle. Y curl. Ohio spacing. Y curl.
On first and 10, here's Fields.
Triangle button.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
Entering play
and he'll be out of bounds,
shotgun
taking it
pass,
just shy of the 10 at the 11 to 12. So the completion results out in 9 yards. And they'll have a second and 1 forthcoming.
Option is set to the run one. Option is set to draw to place. Draw, error, AHB mid-draw, AHB draw. Button.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Entering play call, draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2 options. HB draw is selected. Cross button.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Entering play call. Play type. Their option. Run. Pass. Screen. AHD slip screen. Play type. Formation. There are 8 categories. Play type. Run. Option. RPO, special, pass. Option is set to play action pass 5. Option is set to standard pass 20. Option is set Y stick.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Cross button.
Here's Fields.
Button.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears have broken the tie.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
This time, the extra point up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Special teams who have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation, pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Mills to throw it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
picked off by Tavon Young. And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going, and being able to make a play on the football.
See David Montgomery heading back out to begin the drive.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Auction is set to standard pass 22 plays. Standard, corner stops, T-attack, corner stops.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Fields slings this deep from McLaurin. Touchdown Bears. Terry McLaurin on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Now the point after try for Santos. And that is off the left upright. It's no good.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. 1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their 35-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
I would say it might be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Looking to throw is Mills. Got this into the hit. And the ball is knocked out. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number two, maybe they actually have the lead.
Entering play call, play type. There are 8 categories. There are 6 subcategories. Option is set to standard past 22 plays. You have 5 op. Coach suggest shock H op. Red option. Red only under. Red op. Middle slant. RPO zone key. Powered next spot.
Get some momentum here. All 6 and 3.
Let's get in that end zone.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little down. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options. Add attempt is selected.
Santos now to add the PAT. And oh, can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Well, in the process of that kick return, it appears we had an injury. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, have your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
A give, running right is Mack. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mills now. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Mills. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun. Mills dumps this one off to Mack. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
There are 6 categories.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. A run up the middle with Mack. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Mills to throw for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. Well, the D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want, they go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback, no chance on that 4th down.
There are 8 categories. Blitz counter is selected. Blitz counter, stick.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Square button.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 106 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Option is set to shotgun pass 9. Option is set to standard pass 20. Standard corner stops, bench switch, verticals, triangle, verticals.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Cross button.
Now Fields.
Square button.
Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
First down for Byron Pringle, and he's a smart gamble by the Chicago Bears. They saw a guy put up 568 yards last year, and he was buried in Kansas City's depth chart. They do believe his ceiling is much higher as a full-time starter, so they brought him in a one-year deal to see if he's a long-term answer for their team.
Now a first down throw. Fields finds Komet on the quick slant. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Entering plate. Entering instant. Call to challenge. Super sim is stats. Coaching. Pop up. Medical center is selected. Entering injury report screen. 7 rows 4. Player name D. Shelley. Player name L. Patrick. Position C. Injury type shoulder. Injury length TBD. Injury length 1/4. Injury type low back strain. Position CB. Player name D. Shelley. Player name S. Mustafer. Position RG. Injury type bruised sternum. Injury length out for game. Injury length out for game. Injury type high ankle sprain. Position RG. Player name M. Schofield II. Player name N. Morrow. Position MLB. Injury type abdominal tear. Injury length 1 week. Injury length placed on error. Injury type fractured kneecap. Position LG. Player name D. Dozier. You entering play call. Standard play type. Run. Outs. AHB stretch.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Going up the gun, Montgomery. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Entering play. AHB stretch. Play type. Option. Run. Pass. Standard pass. Error. Corner stops. Bench switch. Play type. Formation. Error 8 cap. Option is set. I form. Sing. Option is set to ace 9 place. Option is set. I form. Strong. Low. Mesh post.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Cross button.
Montgomery on the counter. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories. Free fire.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Formation, there are 8. Play type, there are 8. Category, run, auction, run, pass. Auction is set to shotgun pass. Auction is set to play action pass 58 plays. Play action, pass sprint H, boot slide, pa X post cross. Cross button.
On 4th down, Fields.
Circle button. Square button.
He hits Mooney going across the middle. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Well, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the 1st down. It's now 1st and goal.
Pass. Special. RPO. Auction. Run. Counter weak. AHP misdirection.
Montgomery. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Entering play call. Play type. Auction. RP. Special. Pass. Run. Auction is set to pitch free plays. Auction is set to outside handoffs. Auction is set to inside handoff 50 play. Inside hand. AHB blunt dive. Zone weak. AHB blunt dive.
Once more, Montgomery. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier. Was bidding for a second.
11 plays.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Circle button.
Fields.
R1 button.
And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney there to make the grab. And the Bears are able to add on to their 1st half lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Play type. Personnel. Play type. Run. Pass. With pass. There. Y stick.
Fields trying to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And Mills is intercepted for the third time. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. Right? This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Entering play call, coach suggestions.
Now the point after try for Santos.
You have 15 options, that event is selected.
And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At about the 32.
They'll start by handing this off to Mack.
Found a little room there as he's out to about the 37. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
2nd and 5 now. Mills.
Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Roquan Smith. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Entering play call, play type. There are 8 categories. There are 6 subcategories. Option is set to quick pass. 11 plays. You have 5 options. Pass is selected. Run. Pass. Quick. Y stick.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Square button.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
125 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, Punter, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he's just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bears continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. In the second quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories.
Santos now to add the PAT.
Add empty selected.
And the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception.
Call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tavon Young. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Darnell Mooney and the rest of this offense ready to go again.
We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a third person in the area and trying to dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here, because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Cross button.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Entering play.
They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Entering play call. Formation. There are 8 categories. Play type. There are run. Pass. Option is set to standard pass. Option is set to quick pass left. Quick Y stick.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Square button.
To throw is Fields.
R1 button.
Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin.
He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
Touchdown! Terry McLaurin on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bears have got it on cruise control.
And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options. Add again to
now the point after try for Santos. He missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline.
Have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Houston set to take over. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run the screen with Mack. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
6 categories.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Now Mills. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Ends up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Certainly going to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
6 categories.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Teams, you have 6 options. Return left is selected.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Entering play clock. Run. In AHP blunt dive.
Play clock down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
Entering play. AHP blunt. 24 zone. AHP blunt dive.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Inside handoff. There are 7
obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bears, we check out their numbers on the ground, as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Defend medium pass.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Square button.
Fields now to throw.
Cross button.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Entering play call with pass, play, run, pass, run. Option is set to QB round 1 play. Option is set to FD round 1. Option is set to draw to place. Draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2 options. HP draw is selected.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Cross button.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
An injury cost Montgomery 4 games early in the year, which kept him from repeating his 1,000-yard season from the previous one. He still reached over 800 yards and caught another 42 passes, and is firmly entrenched as the Bears' top backfield option for his 4th season.
Option is set to counter 4 plays. Option is set to pitch free plays. Option is set to outside handoff 6. Option is set to inside handoff 50. Inside hand AHB blunt dive. Zone split WK.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Cross button.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Stops. T-drive. T-attack. T-attack. Spacing. T-angle. White mesh post, double post, Florida drive, WR curl, verticals.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw.
Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Entering play call, play, run, Formation, I form. The close, AHP ISO.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line.
Cross button.
Play action. It's Fields.
Cross button. Triangle button. Cross button.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Inside zone.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Montgomery back to the ground. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Auction is set to quick pass 11 play. Quick pass twice to.
And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down.
Cross button.
Back to throw.
Circle
Fields.
Cross button. R1 button. R1 button. Cross button.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week, as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
6 categories.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Throwing, Mills.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
3rd and short yardage, Mills.
He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Take it at the 37. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Bears take over. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon.
And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start on the ground with Mack. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw is Mills. Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
Entering play call,
and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Here's Mack to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Mills to throw it.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So another incomplete situation there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive.
A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way, and he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Entering play call, HB blunt dive, 24 zone open.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Entering play call, AHB blunt up, 24 zone open.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Cross button.
Now it's Fields.
R1 button.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year on the other, and they just locked people down.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Cross button.
Here's Fields.
Cross button. Square button.
He'll get that complete to his tight end Komet. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Run. Auction is set to QB run 1. Auction is set to FD run 1. Auction is set to draw to place. Draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2 options. HB draw is selected.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Cross button.
Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. And some room to maneuver. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15. And they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Entering play call, draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2 options. HB draw is selected.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Triangle button.
Going up the gun, Montgomery. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
I think that one gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out on the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
AHB mid-draw. AHB draw.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Cross button.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Entering play call, draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2 options. HB draw is selected. Triangle button. Triangle button. Triangle button.
He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
Entering play call, draw. There are 7 categories. Play type, there, option, run, draw. There are 7. AHB mid-draw. Cross button.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Option is set to quick pass 11 plays. Quick pass, there, Y stick.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Cross button.
Here's Fields.
Cross button. Square button.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Malik Collins able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket, because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being dumped on his back, but every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Cross button.
They snap it to Fields.
Cross button. Run button.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, the decision there, 4th and goal. They go for it, but this ball intercepted in the end zone.
Hey, how about some applause for the stand by this defense? Just to force them into a 4th and goal situation was one thing, but then to get the interception, keep them off the scoreboard, that's a job very well done.
The Texans offense set to regain possession. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
A 1st down throw for Mills.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here's Mills. On a slant, here's Collins. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. 1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. This a give to Mack running to the right. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, If we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Mills now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brevin Jordan, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
Play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4 receiving touchdowns means he's been a variety of coverages throughout this game because they're not just letting him run scot-free. They're trying their best to shut him down, and he's shredding them.
I got to be honest, I want to see 5. No, you want to see 5? I mean, we're not supposed to be biased, but
we're not rooting. Just in the interest of the game, let's go ahead and see 5.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Entering play call, quick pass, Y-stick, double slant.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Triangle button. Triangle button.
Now Fields.
Circle button.
That one is slant to McLaurin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Entering play, Y-stick, quick slants.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Triangle
Fields.
button. Triangle button.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they can coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Triangle button.
From the 50,
Cross
here's
button.
Fields.
Triangle button. Cross button.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Option is set to standard pass 22 plays. Standard, corner stop, bench sweep, verticals.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Cross button.
To throw is
Cross
Fields.
button. Square button.
Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game. And they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Meanwhile, Fields throw into the hands of McLaurin.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Terry McLaurin, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Entering play call, special teams, you have 6 options, kickoff left is selected.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Houston's offense taking over again. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw, Mills. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mills on 3rd and 2.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lost one bit. The offense wants to score some points. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive.
And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked.
Triangle button.
They'll fake the handoff now field.
Circle button. R1 button.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jerry Hughes able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Entering play AHP blunt dive.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Cross button.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
AHP blunt dive.
The Bears on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Cross button.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
12 options, punt is selected.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's King. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
First down, Mills. Got a man. It's Collins complete.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Mills.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rodgers. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Now Mills. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
6 categories.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From just shy of midfield, Mills.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tavon Young. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances. And that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Santos now to add the PAT.
15 options, empty selected.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Takes it at the 7.
A solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick-6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At about the 32.
After the pick-6 a moment ago, here's Mills again.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack.
Buried by more multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, have a game, sir, why don't you? A sack earlier and an exclamation point here late in the game. And this one won by his side of the ball. They played so well, surprised he didn't get a second sack earlier.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Looking to throw is Mills. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off.
Mills can't get away, and down he goes.
Sack by Robbie Smith.
It's a little chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they got to have some pride here because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now a hit and a loose football. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to trot out there and try and slow them down.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Mills. This to the outside for Mack. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds and complete. I guess at this point, Charles, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that, Tony, because a big play can't hurt at all. You might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Triangle button.
There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive.
Glancing down at the stat sheet, and we've been tracking it, but you get a 100-yard game, you're really happy. You're over 200 like he is. You probably want that ball after this game, don't you?
You want that one. You want to continue to call the same plays. In any other game you play, you're having one of those magical performances that just never want to end. And you know something? Your fellow receivers, they get those clenched grins right now like, congratulations. Well, why isn't it me?
Well, so far, it's been all about him. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
Despite some fast footwork, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Auction is set to counter for play. Auction is set to draw to place. Draw. There are 7 categories. You have 2
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Cross button.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter. In the zone, the ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Quick pass, stick.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Cross button.
And here we go on 4th down, Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line.
Entering play call.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And they'll say thank you very much to that last decision, as because of it, they now start out 1st and goal here.
Well, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal.
Mills to throw it.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Throwing, Mills.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Now here's a look for the end zone. This
has been a rough one to put a mildly from. After this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's got a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
From the 10.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
Entering play call, play type, coach suggestions, recent plays, coach, player, play type, error, run. In AHB blunt dive, 24 zone open.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The sack there by Rasheem Green.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
Coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
One last shot from Mills.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
But as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Chicago, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-2, and they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.